All again, I came with a new topic with a new video, which is about giving and receiving feedback. So, we all know the power of giving and receiving the feedback. The feedback decides about a person's career, and a feedback gives a person to chance improvise himself and to know about themselves and to know about their drawbacks and even the pros and cons about of their work, and even they can do SWOT analysis on their own. So if each and every person, right from their beginning of the career or beginning of the education, everybody needs the feedback. So what it is exactly the feedback means? Feedback is a response or reaction or information given by the recipient of a message to the sender. So we all know, right? In our childhood, our teachers used to give us the feedback, but not exactly in a form of report, but like in a form of mark sheet or in a form of question examination papers. And after correcting those papers, how much we scored, based upon that, they used to give us slight feedback like improve your handwriting or improvise your scores or improve your diagrams. These type of feedback we used to get, right? So in the same way, we'll be receiving a lot of different types of feedback from different people in different time zones. So we can directly jump into the topic. The professionals mainly use this type of giving and receiving this feedback in the year end, which decides our progress in the career. Like if we want to get promoted, first we have to analyze ourselves. So we have to assess ourselves and we have to send a report, that is called self feedback, and then the manager should approve that, and then the project manager should approve that, and then they'll be giving some sort of feedback again. So eventually we'll get promoted, right? So based upon their ratings will be promoted, or our salary will be appreciated more and will be getting a hike. Even sometimes it can be unexpected transfer to somewhere, whatever it may be, right? So the feedback is essential to reach our goal, right? So the process of letting someone know which areas they need to improve is feedback. So in this feedback, again we have two types of feedbacks. One is positive feedback and the other one is burning feedback. So what is this burning feedback again? A kind of negative feedback, or a kind of communicating wrongly. Instead of negative feedback, I can say the feedback which is true but communicating in a wrong way, that is called burning feedback. So firstly I'll go with the positive feedback. A positive feedback always would be in a form of giving something valuable to the other person, like as if you are giving some valuable asset or valuable precious jewels to someone. So it will be in such a form. So like an example, you are better than that, whatever I people told, but you are better than that means that is a kind of feedback where the person felt himself as low, but we are giving him kind of feedback where he can feel again that he is something valuable in this career ladder or in this world, whatever it may be. So that should be the way of providing the feedback. So in a form of, again, I won't let you off the hook. I won't let you off the hook. So this is another kind of giving a positive feedback about a person's work and his activities in the professional environment. So this is a positive style of giving feedback. So the other person will be showing more interested, and he will show lot of info to change himself or to improvise himself or to put a lot of effort into his career ladder, and it grows him or her rather in a very speeder manner, rather than a burning feedback or rather than a neutral feedback, right? I have not explained about the neutral feedback, which is not at all essential now. So I am going to the burning feedback level next. So the people who are giving the feedback, first of all, should not have any type of biases like gender biases or rich and poor classes type of biases, or white and blacks like racism, and another any other type of regions, religions, or any other type of biases they should not maintain. They should come out of such type of biases even if they have grown up in that type of environments. So once you are ready to give the feedback, or if somebody asks you to the give ask you to provide some feedback, first of all you have to come out of these type of biases. Then only you are a person who is ready to really eligible to give the feedback. So with all these biases, if you are assessing someone's potentiality and someone's hard work and someone's smart work, then they will be going to give you a complete negative feedback about you. So and again it backfires upon us. So that is the reason we should leave all the biases. So it can be product review. Sometimes if we have launched any new product, people usually give their type of feedback. Like if you take any hair wash shampoo or body wash shampoo or any electronic goods like any tablet or any iPod or electronic devices, laptops, whatever it may be. So people share generally their type of feedback, right? So about the technology, about the softness of that electronic device, and the speed, and even the GB and the memory it is containing, whatever it may be. So people share different type of feedbacks in a various ways. In the same way, if people are wantedly criticizing the product after using it, so we treat them, usually corporate people treat them as jokers, or they treat them as unnecessary nuisance creating people, right? So in the same way, after having lots of work from any employee or from any professional person, we should not give them negative feedback, or at least we need to neutralize the negativity and that biases, and we have to put it in a way, in a such a way where the employee or the other person, professional person, should not feel it as a in a negative way. He should not take it in a negative form of way. So we have to put it in a more positive way. Even though he is having some drawbacks, we should put it in a more positive way, so that he will be having some kind of chance to improvise himself or herself. So now I'm going to discuss about the burning feedback. So these examples of burning feedback are, you can pay price for this, so this is your fault, and many more examples I can give, but it took a lot of negativity again. They can say like, who asked you to do, or why don't you check with us before moving on, or have you ever worked on somewhere, or is this your first time? So asking these type of direct questions, or asking them, putting them in a type of danger zone or in a type of cage, then the other person's positivity will be blocked, and the negativity doors will be opened immediately, and he cannot take your words, and whatever the feedback you are giving, he only entirely he'll swallows in a negative method. And then you will be the person, you'll become a negative and villain in his mind or her mind. So the environment will become a war zone rather than in a professional way of approached environment. So this should be again corrected. And then what is the real burning feedback? Here it is, wherever you are giving the feedback, it should not be on the public platforms, or it should not be in front of everybody again. So most of the times it should be on one basis, and that too in a conference hall or in a most private place. So we should make sure that you are providing valuable feedback, and the person who should be receiving is enough to discuss, and is enough, his presence is enough, rather than having more people in that environment. So we have to 100% avoid the other person who is not really need to know that feedback. Of course, the people who are working with him and the people who are going to work with him or with her will be knowing the feedback, because based upon that remarks only he'll be promoting to another project, right? So that is the reason only the relevant people will be knowing that too, only the relevant information, not the entire feedback again. So that privacy of protecting the privacy of an employee is also the major responsibility of the team leaders and the project leaders and the managers, zone managers even. So then only the employee is going to take you in a positive way, even though you are providing lakhs of income, I mean salary, or even though you are providing according to his eligibility lot of amenities, even if you are providing, if the company is not able to provide his protect his privacy or her privacy when it comes to the scores and when it comes to the remarks or the feedback, then the employee will be losing the respect towards his company, and slowly he'll become a disloyal employee even. And that is not a surprising thing here, I need not to mention even. So sometimes giving negative feedback is one of the most difficult communication, I admit this, because negative feedback, or if the person is not up to the mark, that conveying that type of message is a very difficult task to the person who is providing the feedback. So many people suffer from such type of blind spots even, because nobody knows how to handle that feedback, providing to that negative feedback, especially when employees needs to give feedback on their higher hierarchical people. They are too fearful to give such type of feedback on their boss or their immediate team leader, or they on their immediate project leader, because they know that this will be the future reason where they have to compromise about their future career even. Because if in some or other way this person is going to get that feedback due to his power in that organization, then if he knows about this subordinate who has provided the negative feedback, then he is also going to do the same thing, even though he or she is working for a good amount of hours or good amount of methods in a smart way or harder way, whatever it may be. So providing feedback, negative feedback, or even feedback on their superiors is very difficult task to the employees. So this is a blind spot where the corporate people needs to address that. So because this is called 360 degrees feedback, 360-degree angles feedback, means suppose there is a project manager where he deals with his higher authorities and even his lower authorities, but if he wants to be promoted from all the angles, the his leaders will be asking the feedback, like from his subordinates and from his higher authorities even. So and even from his peers, this is called 360 degrees angle feedback receiving. So all the people should give at least 70% in a positive way, then only he'll be promoted. Not in every company, but in few companies uh, it will be cultivating even nowadays. So then so that is the reason most of the project leaders will be working in a smoother way with their employees. No, these type of feedback procedure will be practiced in such a company where they want to treat their employees in a on a human relation basis. They won't treat their subordinates or they won't treat their employees in a submissive way or in a degrading way. So that is the reason they want to put these project managers in a loop where they have to be very crucial, where they have to be very cautious while behaving and while dealing with their women employees and with their subordinates even, because they know these superiors will be always loyal to their higher authorities, but while coming to these subordinates they misbehave with them. So that is the reason these corporate people always checks, they put a check on such people in a 360-degree angle. So if a subordinate, one or two people are giving negative feedback, then they consider it in a slighter way. But what if all the team members, or what if the majority of the team members subordinates are providing the negative feedback even though the superiors are appreciating him. So that means this person doesn't know how to handle his subordinates. That is the feedback they are getting from his subordinates, right? So so this is the cause they cultivate this type of getting 360-degree angles feedback. Then at that moment subordinates should not get fear about their careers and compromising about their careers. With fearless attitude they have to provide the feedback, because ultimately they are also helping to the company by saying this superior is not behaving in a well mannered way with his subordinates, or means not only about always about misbehavior or manners or something on only ethical basis, even at the point of work. Even few managers won't give all the data, or they won't pay the patients, or they won't show their attentive mindset. During calls they disturb others, or they disturb with some other project work or whatever it may be, they disturb the employees. These will be considered while giving the feedback. And also they won't maintain a proper record, so all these will be considered. So these type of things can also be provided in a feedback report. So the employees should leave the hypocrisy and leaving that belittling situation. Many cases became so evident to the offender that it wasn't an issue of having a blind spot. They won't consider, they are just afraid of their career, so they won't give feedback in a open and broad perception. So even if they give, the superiors also will not accept, they will not agree for it, they won't take it in a positive way. So it is a kind of ego again. So the courage and integrity of the employees plays vital role than position. Irrespective of our position, the courage and integrity plays a vital role here. And of course sometimes it may backfire us, so we should be very cautious again. However, in most of the cases it works. So better to get feedback or give in private, and if necessary of making a reconciliation also required. So whatever by mistake if we got some misinformation, so the manager reported the same, but after discussing with straight away with the same person, then he realized that feedback is not that was a miscommunicated information, and there is no valid data to prove that. So even they can reconcile that feedback. So and again what is the best way to provide the feedback? So we have to describe our feelings towards the employee's work. Feelings means here is not his emotional feelings or some kind of personal. So how you feel about his work, whether he is working too hard, or whether he is wasting his time, or whether he or she is applying his acquired knowledge or applying his training techniques whatever provided in the company. So such type of feelings should be considered here. And whatever are your concerns in a positive way, and whatever your perceptions, and few comparisons, even not each and every comparison you need to share here. You have to compare with his colleagues, because all are working on the same project and with the same background. Then again there are few points where we have to consider, and where few should not be considered again. So based upon that the comparison should be done, and what was happening and what was expected and what was achieved, all these feelings we can explain to that person, but not in an accusing manner again, not in a judgmental way, not in a purpose of labeling them, saying that you are lazy, or saying that you are not attentive, or saying that being a woman or being a man or being a senior, or or having lot of experience, or being from that religion person, or being whatever it may be, we should not share these type of labels again. So we should be very cautious while sharing this type of feedbacks. And this approach other causes the other person to become open to information about his or her blind spot without being so personally or threatened. So as soon as we are sharing with an open heart and with a positive mindset, which grows anybody's professional ladder, or which is worthful to the company or organization. Everybody wants to open up their ears and open up their mindsets, and they want to even receive in a positive way, and they even appreciate and they want to improvise themselves. In fact, people will get encouraged to do more work. So what if all the people are giving the negative feedback, and wantedly if they want to put aside a person or to throw out of the organization? So that is called a burning feedback, and that is called being meanful to the colleague or peers somewhere. They are missing some ethical courage over there. So that is the reason they are giving the mean and jealous feedback. So we should be very cautious, because these type of feedbacks might affect or may affect the other person's career, and sometimes they go to long term depression. So we should be very cautious, and we should be very kind even sometimes. So before giving feedback, we should understand the other person's psychology even, because people are very sensitive. We never expect they even commit suicide sometimes. So if we see students who are getting selected from the campuses, and then after campus selections, if they are not performing well in the organizations, they are still in their they are still in their college atmosphere, or they are still in their honeymoon period, then they won't come out of that mode. Still they can't give the uh, still they can't get attached to this professional environment. They won't get habituated to this strict and disciplined kind of environment. Then they lose some type of trust, or some type of uh, that worthfulness from their seniors, or from their team leaders, or even from the project leaders. Then they will be warned by them in a negative way sometimes, or in a very strict way. Then these people will go and commit suicide immediately. They feel they are worthless, and they feel they got insulted. So when we are dealing with these campus selected students, or when we are dealing with the freshers, or even a person who is having lot of experience, if he or she is more sensitive, we should not give the feedback whatever we got in that 360-degree angles. So we have to limit our feedback, and we, to the extent where that person is ready to grasp that, or where to the extent where he or she can absorb that. First we need to understand that, and then only we have to provide the feedback. So everybody's success depends upon the career ladder, like learning, training, instruction, receiving instructions, and by practicing. So everybody should step go ahead on a step on step basis. So then only they can get the success. So in this due period, we all need feedback. In every step of our life, in every step of our career, we need feedback, right from the learning to practice, and then getting appreciation, and then reaching to the number one position, and then even protecting that number one position. So all these requires proper feedback with proper mentors, and even with the courageous mentors who can give you the right feedback, and who can give you feedback in a positive way, where they can nourish you rather than putting you in a disciplined manner. They just want to see your growth, right? So this is the way of giving the feedback, and even the person who is receiving the feedback should be having a broad mind. He should take it in a positive way. Sometimes taking feedback about our own drawbacks is little difficult, we do understand that, but we should understand that receiving feedback is for the sake of self improvement, and which is going to help us in future projects, right? So immediate after receiving negative feedback or about our pitfalls, we should not get irritated, or we should not get disappointed, or we should not throw out the file or that feedback report upon the officer's face, or you need not to behave in a improper way, where the other person feel discomfort even. So receiving a feedback is a process of reaching to our goals. So if we receive feedback in a positive way and accept and digest that in a well mannered way and in a positive way, then every person in this world can help us. So everybody wants to give the feedback, but nobody is ready to take the feedback. So if you are ready to take the feedback, then definitely everybody in this world will be appearing as a helpful person to us. So if you are showing ego, and if you are trying to take revenge upon your superiors just because they are providing you the feedback, or if it is affecting your career, I mean the promotion or the salary hike, you can sit with them and you can make them understand what was happened at that moment to have such type of negative feedback, or to get low rating in your performance. Then they will be ready to reconcile that negative feedback even. But if you yourself is showing negative attitude and behaving negatively in any professional environment, being a fresh graduate or being a having or I should not say being again. So just because you are a fresher, and even after having lot of experience, if we are not enough to understand the work procedure and work culture, then it is not going to help in a positive way. So try to always put ourselves in a organization mindset. If you want to be like an employee, if you want to be like a CEO, or if you want to be like any businessman, then you have to come out of that organization and you can take your own decisions. But when you are working in an organization and when you are taking salary monthly, you have to obey their rules. So you have to obey the rules means you need not to become a slave over there again, don't misunderstand me. So you should abide by the company rules. At the same time, you have to protect your career goals, personal goals, even family. You should have personal life even. That is what I mean here. But if you are working in any organization, you have to understand the seniors feedback is most essential to reach your career goals and to continue in a same organization. So that's all for today. You can share your opinions and views and opinions, and you can also correct me if I am going anywhere wrong. And also you can share your experiences so that I can put it in a well framed way in any other video. I'll try to put it in I will try to share with our audience even. And please like, subscribe and comment. Thank you so much.